Mommy Manual listeners and viewers. I'm Nicole Corning.
I'm Kathleen Wilson.
And we are
the Working Mommy's Manual.
And girls and boys, it has been
a week.
And it has been a day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elon Musk.
Yes.
So we're doing sort of a shorter episode today because Elon Musk decided to bring his company public.
Yes.
And as you know, we work in financial services, so it's been a
Busy.
little bit of a hectic day.
Yes, we were still fielding phone calls just minutes before this call.
Just moments ago. And Kathleen, actually, did you hide your phone or it's still
I
there?
did. I hid it.
We both have our phones just in case. But
yes.
I mean, at a certain point, the market's closed. There's really nothing we can do.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's enough about that. So speaking of crazy days and crazy weeks, what are we talking about today, Kathleen?
Disasters in the workplace.
Yes, because we had quite a few this week, which actually the fun level on disasters, which I feel like there's always some kind of
There's
disaster.
always a fire drill.
Always.
But like, okay, if we were to rate this week as a hurricane,
it would be, I'm going to say level 3, like a level 3 hurricane.
Yeah.
Or what is that? Do they have levels?
Yes.
Or are those just video games?
Nope. I think they have levels.
Okay. Categories.
Yes, categories. You're right.
Yes. Category 3.
It is Friday, and we have been running a million miles a week, so I'm hoping anything that comes out of my mouth makes any kind of sense.
You know what? I'm here for you, and I will translate.
Words are hard at this moment.
Full sentences, nearly impossible.
Exactly.
Please don't expect that from us today. It's going to be a short episode.
Yeah.
We were thinking, what are we going to talk about today? And it has been such a crazy week. We thought we really need to address, how do you take care of issues when they come up at work and you have work disasters?
Yes.
And
you still have your regular things that you need to get done. Mind you, we've onboarded interns this week, trying to keep
army
them.
Of interns.
Our army of interns.
We have an army of interns, and they're
They're
smart.
great. They are so smart.
Cute.
Exactly.
I love them.
And we've onboarded a couple, and the last one onboarded this week.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yes. So
I was walking out of the office, leaving him on his tech. I'm like, okay, call that phone number. And when you're done, go talk to that financial advisor. He's like, I gotcha.
They're very capable. And we've had some not great interns.
Yep.
We have had some interns we have bamboozled into hiring.
We're like, okay, when did you want your internship to finish? Friday? Okay, that sounds great to us.
Great. Oh, you want to end early? Great. We wanted it ended a month ago.
Exactly.
So
the day after you started.
The day after you started, we realized we made a terrible error.
But you live and learn.
You live and learn. And actually, that's why getting interns is so great, because you can like try people out.
Well, and this is the first year I actually sent a whole introduction, because I really need this year our interns to be engaged with our clients, making phone calls. And so I wanted to let everybody know that they're legitimate people in our practice. That
they're real people too.
Yes.
Interns are real people too.
They are. And that, they're going to have to authenticate. We have a process and we have standards, and they have to abide by those.
They're not Russian bots.
No, they're not trying to hack anybody's system.
Okay, so the interns are the things that are going right.
Yeah.
But we've had a number of fire drills, and I feel like it's been compounded this week because
it started on
Elon
Monday.
Musk and Perry Buckman.
Oh, I know. Perry's been on vacation.
Perry's been on vacation, which has been a non-vacation.
Right.
So our business partner, Perry, has been out of the office. The problem is he does not fully disengage. So we're trying to insulate him from things, and then he is annoyed because we're not communicative.
But we're trying to give him a break. So I was like, do not contact him unless it's an emergency.
So let's just say number one thing is dealing with office emergencies is that you have to recognize what your bandwidth and your limit is, and you have to give yourself the permission to walk away and decompress from a situation.
Yes.
And you need to actually take vacations, because if your battery isn't charged, you are not going to handle craziness.
Right.
If you're here and then crazy happens,
yes,
you are not going to handle it well.
Right.
You just aren't.
Right.
And for those of listening, like my hand was at my forehead over every breathing nose, mouth place. And then it just went over my head. If you're already underwater and you go more underwater, you're not going to handle it well.
No.
Right?
Nope.
So, okay, what would you say is the best trick or tool for dealing with emergencies at work?
Listen, I mean, the first thing you have to do is when it becomes disastrous, you have to stop before reacting and just listen to what the situation is. And then, I know we're listening, but my brain is already going about how we're going to handle this, but I need to hear the whole thing before we can really formulate a fix.
So like Vanilla Ice, stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yes.
So the collaborate part, I think, is the next step.
Yes.
So I think you do have to stop, because what happens is when you are going about your day, and even if it's a good day and you're like driving Miss Daisy kind of day, everything's good, and then disaster strikes, your natural reaction is and panic.
Well, so that was disaster 2 this week, which happened, I think, on Tuesday, or maybe it was Wednesday. I don't literally.
It was Tuesday.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
So I'm already fixing a fire drill that's a disaster, and I'm in the middle of it, and I'm hot and heavy trying to get this stuff done.
Was this the one that happened at like 7:45?
Yes, this is
so it was
exactly.
before 8 in the morning.
Yeah, and I received this email, and I'm like,
Mother
trucker. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And then, and it immediately turned, literally was like, oh my God, this is a big deal. And so then I'm already working on a big deal. I'm like, stop, one big deal at a time. And I was just like, okay, we're going to do this.
You can only handle one crisis at a time.
Literally, I know
you cannot multitask with crises.
No, because that's when you make bigger errors, issues.
And then you make a third crisis.
Yes.
Because you didn't handle.
Then you have to fix the problem that you're trying to fix.
You don't want to do. So number one, you need to stop, because your amygdala, your lizard part of your brain is in panic. It naturally goes into panic mode.
Yes.
And you have to counteract that and get your executive functions back on track.
Right.
So you feel that panic. You're like, oh my God, this is going to be so insane. You need to just take a breath.
Yep.
And you need to pause and you need to listen.
Right.
And then once you listen, you need to also continue to pause.
Yes.
Because you need to have a second to think about how you're going to handle it.
Well, and I think taking that pause, that break is really what's important, because it's one of those things, when you say something really quick to someone you're having a conversation, and then you stop and you're like, oh, I should have said this instead, because you should have paused and waited to really formulate your answer before you reacted to it. And so
also remind yourself, when you're in panic mode, you're not at your best.
No.
And you're not going to, chances are you're not going to say the right thing.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I've been there and done that.
Be it teenage children.
Yep.
Be it a lover, your hubby, your wife, whatever you got, right?
Yes.
It's not your best moment.
Right.
So, okay. So pump the brakes, give yourself a second. Then what do you
I run to your office.
So that is, I think it's critical. Y'all, if you don't have a work bestie, you need to get a work bestie.
Yes.
You need a work bestie.
And it's so funny, because you're like, all right, this is now, not only now am I in panic mode, but now I have to slow myself down to be able to articulate to you so that you don't immediately go into panic mode, but you're like, wait, stop. I need you to start over. And I'm like, okay, here we go.
That is classic me. because I do the stop, because when I'm getting thrown information, I need it in a methodical way, and I need it in a certain order.
Yep.
And when someone else is panicking, usually it's you, and you're like, ugh. And I'm like, you're getting to the end. You are telling me an entire elaborate story.
And I know.
Start with the fact.
I know.
What's going on?
So we do. And so we'll stop, and then I'll just say a sentence, and then she'll think about it. And then I say the next sentence, and then you think about it. And then I'll say the third, and you're like, wait, hold on, go back to the second. And so it's just putting everything together so that you understand where we're at. I've already processed the disaster. You have yet to understand what's happening and how you're going to process it.
But I think you need a work bestie, for a lot of reasons, right? To not just help you figure out what to do. But I think you need a work bestie, because we've all been in toxic office situations, or we've had people that have created toxic office situations. And I think it's important to have one person who you are like, hey, this is a problem.
Yeah.
I need your help with it.
Yeah. And it can also just be for advice. Like, hey, I'm having this situation. Can I run this past you? And then, be my sounding board before I go back to somebody else and have a conversation.
And here's what I liken it to. I have friends who call me and they'll say, hey, I'm having a real problem with my partner, but I'm going to run this by you because I know you love them and I know you're not going to not like them because I'm telling you this.
Right.
I just need you to be my sounding board.
Right.
And having your work bestie is the same way. It's not that you hate your job. It's hopefully not that you hate the office.
No, right.
But you're having a minute. You're having a moment.
Right.
And you need someone who is like, hey, I got your back. Let me help you think through this. And I'm not going to spiral you into something bigger. You also need that person because if you don't have one person to talk to, you become that person who's just spewing toxicity.
Yes.
And that's not good long-term overall.
No.
You need someone who is your go-to person. They're going to keep it in the vault. You can talk amongst yourselves, but you're not creating this like terrible dynamic at work.
Right.
Because no one likes that person.
Nope. We don't want the one that's like, here's good morning. Here's today's problems. Like we try to like not do that. I've been office DJ in case you haven't noticed.
Oh, you have been?
I have been. And it's really been fun. And Isabel loves it. And then it's cute. One of the financial advisors, he's like, I need you to disconnect from your Bluetooth. I was like, am I even on Bluetooth? I don't even know. Cause there was one day I just didn't cause I came in, it was just go. And so then he plays and he's like, I call this our office chill music. It was cute. And then later on, as well as like, I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep. Can you put your aux back on? She's like, I give you aux permissions.
So music, and I actually think that's it's a good thing to highlight is that when you're at work, you can use some methods that aren't necessarily work related to de-stress yourself. And one of them is music.
Yes.
And another one is just getting up and walking away from your desk and walking out of the office.
Very true.
If you're having a moment.
I don't do that.
I'm not saying we should do that because if we walk out, we just might keep walking and never actually come back, right?
The staff would be like, is there a problem today?
I mean, we are firstborn daughters. Yeah. Like since birth, we don't get to walk out. If we walk out, shit's going sideways and falling apart.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
But I have counseled and I've been doing what I think is a lot of mentoring with our team. And I've told one woman in particular, I said, if you need to, you just get up and you walk away. I need 10 minutes.
Yep.
And if it's too damn hot out because it's Arizona, get in your car, turn the AC on, go for a ride.
Right.
So you don't have to just work through a problem.
Right.
You know, you can, and if you can't leave, put your earbuds in or whatever and listen to some music, whatever your like happy, encouraging song is. I have that 10% app on my phone. It's a meditation app.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, and when I was going through my divorce and I thought, the world was ending and I was, like 50 pounds lighter, cause I wasn't allowing myself to eat at least once a day, I would turn off the lights in my office and I would, I actually had a yoga mat.
I know. I would
roll out the yoga mat. I can't do that now because my office is too open.
Oh, it's all windows. But no, I think one time, Perry went down, he was like, all I saw was Nicole's feet. And I don't know if that was the upstairs, like when we were.
That would have been
office.
upstairs.
Oh
yes, I just put the yoga mat down, and I would
would probably fall asleep, and then you guys would be like, "Excuse me, Kathleen, are we sleeping on the job now?"
I'd be
like it's better than drinking.
I feel like is it though? We do have alcohol in the office.
We do not indulge during business hours, though. There's no time.
Our clients do.
Yes, they do.
It makes the reviews go a lot easier. They don't. I mean.
There's only a few of them.
There's only a few. Yeah. I mean, most of them don't take it up. But I like having alcohol in the office because a lot of times, you'll have like someone like, I don't know, an attorney or a realtor that you work with and they're like, oh, you want to get together? And I'm like, I really don't. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't. Right. But if you come here and I just have some snacks and we pop open a bottle of Prosecco and we chit chat and then I can get back to work, like I'm all for that.
Yes.
So, but I'm not advocating for drinking at the office because I feel like that's where this is going.
It's not productive, actually.
No. Do you know, even when I was bartending through my way through college, I maybe drank three times. Okay. I've drank 3 times in my life while I was on a shift or in the office.
Oh,
this doesn't count because we drink all the time. This is just for fun.
Yeah, no. And there's been times where it's a Friday after the market closes, we're in the stock market industry. We'd go to a late lunch, with brokers and we'd have a glass of wine or something like that.
But then you're like
back
kind
to the
of,
office.
Oh, you would?
Yes, but we'd go back to the office.
You.
I know. That was
Rule
like,
breaker.
oh my gosh, 20 years ago. There's no time now. I always say there's no time for anything except work, and there's still not enough time for work.
But that's part of like what we need to get a better handle on as owners and executives for the company. We really have to get a better handle on taking time off and decompressing and also setting goals so that because we only have one speed, and it is
go 100 miles an hour,
and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
So I think. And I'm tying that back into office disasters because if we're always at, going 100 miles an hour, we don't really have capacity to deal with crisis to the best of our ability.
Right.
We're still handling it. Yes. We're still dealing with it. But if we don't have any white space, if we don't have any breathing room, I mean, there are so many days where Perry and I are like, I think the whole bathroom knows my office, or the whole office knows my bathroom schedule, because people come out of my office and they're like, I need this, and I'm like, I have to pee. I have never told so many people that I have to use the bathroom in my entire life, but I'm like, I literally cannot be here for this because I have to go to the bathroom.
And I think that's one of the things that we need to do is be mindful about the schedule. I mean, I know we are, and we have a lot of people to see, but I think we need to
build in more white space.
100%, because when a crisis happens and I can't get to you or I have to wait, it's stressful. It's more stressful, actually.
Do you mean I need to build in white space so I can deal with more emergencies?
Yes.
Because I think that's a terrible, terrible idea. I want that struck from the record.
Yes, exactly.
We are not advocating for that.
Oh, gosh. But I think that when someone is out of the office, they should have a lighter work week, though, so that you are available more.
When someone's out of the office?
Like when Perry's on vacation and then your book's solid and I'm like, I need someone right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Like when two of us are there, we can both be a little bit more busy.
Yeah, well, because usually someone can be available, but when one person's there, it's almost
good that we had our work disaster on Tuesday before 8 o'clock. Which is usually they don't schedule me before 8 o'clock unless it's something insane.
And you were already there too, yeah.
I was already there.
I was grateful for that because I was like, let me finish this disaster. And then like Peg Bundy running to your office, like, this is real important. I need you to stop everything you're doing right now.
And, I would also give the perspective that a lot of times when there's a work disaster, it's usually not as bad as we think it is.
No, just the initial shock, I think, is like... it is shocking.
It's like it just,
you're like, how
it just comes on up and slaps you across the face.
Like, okay, how are we going to get through this one? And I think going back to like managing the disasters is again, just putting structure around it, figuring out what the problem is, get your resources and your connections involved so that you can figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to fix it, and keep following up until it's done.
Yes. And if you can, build in some white space, some downtime, some capacity within your schedule.
Send memes on Instagram to your
that should have been
friends.
Number one. Yep. As middle-aged white women, that is how we navigate the world.
It is.
We send each other memes.
It's terrible, but it's hilarious.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, at all times.
6 a.m.
My husband's actually on the meme bandwagon now.
Oh, he is?
Because I go to bed and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. I'll probably send you 20 memes before I fall asleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, he's responded and sent me more. And I'm like, it's kind of funny, actually.
I have been sending a ton of memes to Jonathan. I like, Insta has my algorithm now. So I have work disasters that I send to you.
Yep.
I have I love you memes that I send to John. I love you, and I love you even though you're a supercar enthusiast. Because he is. He's a classic car guy.
That's cute.
Okay. So this had to be a short episode because
and we're not even drinking, which I'm very proud. And it's Friday.
Are you proud?
Yeah.
Because on the way here, you were like,
I know,
how do
I
we
was
not
like,
have Prosecco?
We should have brought Prosecco.
I literally was thinking, I'm like, Actually, we are late, or we should stop and
What's
get Prosecco.
really funny is like you made a left, and usually you go straight, and I'm like, maybe she's stopping at this door.
I was just, honestly, I was on autopilot. I was like, where is the map telling me to go?
This is where we wish that like we should have just called Waymo and had Waymo drive us. You know, so you just get
and then I should just grab the bottle of Veuve you gave me for my birthday that's sitting on my desk. Why we didn't grab that?
I don't know. No, because it's for your birthday. Go enjoy it at home. You don't have to come here and Veuve it up.
I know, but Veuve is good any day.
Very true.
And speaking of work disasters, Barb Nicole Clicquot,
yes,
who it made Veuve Clicquot what it is, she, like, that whole empire was born out of a disaster.
Yeah.
Her husband committed suicide. She stepped in because World War I, all the men were gone, and there was this like micro time where women could actually run shit. And she stepped in. If you have a bottle of Veuve Clicquot, open that up. No one knows this. I've only met one person who knows this. When you open it up, on the top of the Veuve is a picture of Barb Nicole. She is not an attractive woman.
Oh, I've never noticed that
You
either.
did?
No.
How are we friends?
I don't know.
How have we gotten this far into our relationship?
No, I'm going to have to do that next time. I'll look at it. When we're in California, when we go on vacation.
Okay.
We'll do
I don't know how you don't know that.
Yeah,
I've only met
it's a
one,
first.
and he was like a level 1 sommelier.
That's funny.
Anyway,
That's good.
okay. So I think everyone can handle work disasters now.
Just go through
We solved the world's problems.
Exactly.
You're welcome, everyone.
In 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes.
Yes. Do you have a good thing you wanted to share?
I do have a good thing, but why don't you give your one good thing?
Okay, this is really exciting. I love this so much. So my daughter is going to University of Arizona in an architecture program, and it's fiercely competitive. And they started the school year with 240 students. And then by the time people were kind of weeded out and exhausted by those hours, there was 122 people left. And they only had 90 spots to move forward. So we received a message, it was just last week, I think, that she was one of the ones selected to move on in the program. So that is huge.
Because she was stressed.
She was super stressed. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get
that.
into this program. And I'm like, there's alternates. Like, there's still sustainability. You can still do architecture. It's just going to be different. It's just different than how you want to do it. And she's like, I'm not planning for anything else. And I'm like, okay, then let's just hope you get in.
Okay, so Brooklyn, actually, that's a terrible way to deal with any kind of like disasters in your life.
For Brooklyn?
You always need to have a plan B.
Yes, exactly.
I actually, because of the life I've lived, I have B, C, D, E. I have it all the way to Z.
Well,
I have multiple.
But do you remember many years ago, this is probably, I don't even know, like 9 years ago, we had Plan B, and it was Roll 'n' Bowl. Remember we were talking the whole roller skating bowling alley and all this stuff? We had everybody at that finance conference at the table had a piece of the business putting it together.
And nowadays, with like pot legalization, everyone would think it's like you're rolling a joint.
I didn't even think about
bowling.
that.
But anyway,
It's roller skating and bowling.
Yeah. We were going to have a roller skating bowling alley.
Snack,
like with drinks and adult beverages.
Yes.
That's what we were going to do. And we were going to buy.
We were going to bring the 80s back.
We're going to bring the 80s back, and we were going to do it because everyone, like, that's what we used to do in the 80s.
Yes.
And we were going to, like, all these big box stores are shutting down. So we were like, okay, perfect. We'll go in and we'll anchor the place on a rolling bowl.
There you go.
We could still
My
do
husband, the insurance agent, was like, nope, it's too expensive to insure. I'm like, okay.
Wah, wah.
Exactly. Thanks for being the realist.
All right. So my one good thing, it's one good thing, but there are two parts to it. So my one good thing is I had my birthday, and I never used to celebrate my birthday.
I love this so much.
So I never used to celebrate my birthday. So after I turned 50, I was like, y'all, we are celebrating every birthday that we are waking up and like living our best life. So my birthday was last Saturday, and so my boyfriend and I, huge Dave Matthews Band fans, and we go every January to see him. Not every. We've gone to, and we're going to another one down in Mexico, and with this other family. It's them and their one son, and so come to find out, Dave Matthews is playing in Raleigh and in Virginia Beach. So my boyfriend's right next to Virginia Beach, and the other couple that we're friends with, we go to Dave Matthews are in Raleigh. So we're like, great, we're going to book back-to-back concerts. And we got pit, they weren't seats. We just stood and danced the whole time, and it was so much fun, and that was amazing. But the weirdest thing was probably a month or a month and a half previously, I'm on a flight going cross country, and before I sit down, my earbuds are in, and people would be like, "Oh, hi," and I'm like, "I can't hear you. I can't hear you." I'm like, I'm not making friends. We ain't talking.
This is my only peace and quiet.
This is the only time that I can like have some me time. So sorry, but get over to my seat, and I'm up front, so it's just 2 seats. And I'm walking over, and there's this guy, and he just looked interesting. He had like, his hair was a little shaggy. He had like a little gold band. He's, probably in his 60s. And he was looking at, I think it was either a New York Times crossword puzzle. There was some kind of like puzzle book, and it was dog-eared. And there was something that was like, don't put your earbuds in. This guy looks interesting. So I sit down next to him, and then I hear him. His hand is over his mouth as he's talking to his wife on the phone, and I can hear everything. So then he says, and this guy that I met with looked just like Tim Reynolds, or reminded me of Tim Reynolds. He goes, no, not that short. And I was like, Tim Reynolds? Well, that is Dave Matthews' long-term guitarist, and he's been with him forever. So he gets off the phone, and then I am super inappropriate, and I look at him, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to apologize in advance, but I listened to your call just now, and you mentioned Tim Reynolds. I'm like, do you know Tim Reynolds? He said, I do. I said, I tell him the story, huge fans, been listening to the 90s, we go see him in Mexico. I'm like, how do you know him? He's like, I've been his tour manager for 22 years.
That is so insane to me.
And actually, the funniest thing is we kind of stopped talking, but then a work disaster happened, and I think Perry texted me on my phone about the work disaster, and I was like, oh my God. And then I turned to him, and I'm like, I run a financial services firm, and the shenanigans that goes on are insane. You managing a rock tour, I can only imagine what has happened. So then we're off and running.
Yeah.
And we were like besties by the end. He's actually in the running for the most interesting man on the planet. He really is. He managed like Aerosmith and did security, and then he went into management. Anyway, I'm getting his story wrong, but anyway, I'm trying to convince him to write a story or a book.
Yeah.
I gave him my editor's information. Anyway, so he got us passes to the Friends and Family Lounge.
I think that's so amazing.
And actually got it for us. He gave it. I told him we were only going to Raleigh because I didn't want to seem like a weirdo because I was going to 2 shows in a row, but I am a weirdo. And then he got us for Raleigh, and then we saw him at Raleigh, and then he's like, one of the people we were with is like, oh, we're going to be in Virginia Beach tomorrow. And he looks at me, he's like, you're going to be at the show tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you want passes? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why didn't you say anything? I'm like, well, typically when someone gives you a gift, you don't say, thank you. Can I have more, please?
Right.
So anyway, he got us, and then we're going to hang out with him and his wife. His wife goes to Mexico. So we're all going to meet up in Mexico.
Oh, that is going to be so much fun.
I am super excited. And anyway.
That's just the best story. I just think that's so much fun.
Anyway, so listen to your gut. Listen to your and you know what? Work disasters sometimes pan out. Sometimes good things come out of work disasters.
Yes, they do.
You're welcome. Anyway. All right. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
I love doing this with you. We don't have anything
to cheers.
So usually we just cheers and press and hold. And mwah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.